Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to show you how to true or unbuckle a bike wheel without removing the wheel, without using any fancy equipment. Now obviously it makes much more sense to use a truing stand, but this is for those of you who have a bike, you want to get the kids out at the weekend and you don't want to spend a fortune on the truing stands. Fortunately, having a setup like this where we have pads touching the rims, they can act as our truing stand, and that's what we're going to do today. Now for this video, this works with the majority of bike wheels out there on the market, where the spoke nipple is noticeable here on the inside of the rims. If you've got a more upmarket bike with specialist wheels, you're going to have probably a different setup where the spoke can only be accessed at the top of the rim by removing the tyre and inner tube. But I would also assume on that basis, you're going to spend some money on a trimming stand or indeed a bike mechanic. So this is for those of you on a budget with a simple bike and you want to get the buckle removed. As you can see, the buckle is just there. If I spin the wheel, it hits it every time at that point, which is where the label is not particularly obvious because the wheel's so dirty. Shame on the customer. Shame on me for not cleaning it before the video, I guess. Anyway, we know that the brake pads are completely level and true to the middle of the frame. So we know that this buckle is absolutely down to the rim itself. What we're going to do is we are going to remove the tension from the spoke on the side of the buckle, and then we're going to add tension to two spokes, one either side of the culprit, putting the tension back that away. And the way you know if you're working on the right or left side is if you follow the spoke, it will either go to one side or the other of the wheel hub. This is the hub. So this side is where the buckle is happening. What we want to do then is to remove the tension from wherever spoke is the culprit, and then add tension to two spokes leading down to this side. So if we take the wheel backwards and forwards, this is what you're going to be doing at home. Remember, these are nice and true and level to the bike, as in the pads. It's the rim itself which is out. We're going to take this back. You can see, hopefully on camera, the gap increasing. We're going to take this wheel back again, and it's touching there all the way round to there. What you're going to do is find the middle ground of those 2 points. So we have, I reckon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spokes just out of shot. So we're going to go to around about the middle, which is here. And this, I'm following the spoke. This is for this side, which is what we want. I'm going to remove the tension. Now, this is a spoke nipple, as I said earlier on, and this is what a spoke nipple looks like, where the end fits a flat-bladed screwdriver. When you install spokes, you will have the tyre and inner tube off normally, and the spoke nipple goes in the rim this way. So although we can see this part of the spoke, to actually add tension or remove it, we're going to be screwing in the opposite direction to what is normal, because you actually, when you're installing the spokes, the screwing comes on from this way. So to add tension, you would go righty-tighty, but from this side, it's the opposite way around. So traditionally, clockwise and anti-clockwise, it's removed because we're coming from underneath. I hope that makes sense. This is a spoke key. They all come in different varieties and formats, very, very cheap online. And unless you're going to be doing it as a career, these will last you for ages for just 2 or 3 quid. Anyway, this is the spoke, as I said, that we're going to remove tension for. So while you would normally go righty-tighty, which is clockwise, to tighten something, in this case, it's going to be loosening the tension. And it's always best to loosen the tension on the incorrect side before adding tension on the other. Otherwise, you could put undue stress on the hub. Now, that's actually already made a slight difference. What we're going to do now is go anti-clockwise. Remember, although it looks like loosening, from the other side, it's tightening, which is what we want to happen. So we're going to add tension to this spoke and add tension to this spoke. This is the left side as you're looking at it. So we're going to be putting the rim over. Now, I don't know if you've already seen, but that gap has increased now. So, oh my gosh, I think we're there almost exactly already. Just need to pedal out of the way. Well, I think we're almost there, folks. So, excuse the wobbliness, I'm just trying to get the pedal out of the way. Okay, it's going in slightly still just there, if you can see the gap reducing. So again, we're going to reduce tension a little bit more, and then we're going to add tension. And what we can also do, because the buckle was quite big, I think possibly other spokes are affected as well. Did I just do that right? I can't remember. Anyway, adding tension. Oh dear. And then we're going to be removing tension. This is my classic issue of multitasking. Okay, explaining and doing is not my strong point. Okay, so we've moved a bit of tension on one side, the right side nearest the camera, and the furthest point away we have added tension. Okay, there's another buckle here and there, so we can sort them out, but the point is, what was a minute ago proper rubbing against the rim is not happening anymore at that point, which shows that it's working. There's still a bit of pull, so we're going to just add a bit more tension. That one actually was quite loose, so that's probably the biggest culprit there. Well, that looks much, much, much better. So anyway, that's the general gist. That's all you need to do to true your wheels. As I say, if you want to do it properly, professionally, you're going to get a truing stand. You're going to get also a tool to measure the spoke tension. But if you're heading out with the kids on a local trail or just going out for a bit of fitness locally, then you know what? That's going to do the trick. What's going to happen is you're going to find it quite therapeutic, as I do. And now I'm looking at all these other bumps and knocks on the rim. I'm going to go to town on this wheel and get it proper true. But now you know how to true or unbuckle your wheel. You can get yourself one of these and crack on. When it comes to sorting out wheels that are out of alignment and they don't have a caliper system, but rather they have disc brake calipers, you haven't got a point of reference. What you can actually do is get yourself a cable tie. Put the cable tie around the dropout. There's this section of the frame, and you can get the cable tie end to just be close to the rim itself, and that will do exactly the same job and work in exactly the same way. Anyway, you now know how to do it. If this has been helpful for you, please like, please subscribe to the channel. As I say, I often upload videos which aren't state-of-the-art professional. They're literally for men and women and kids who just want to keep riding and want to try and get their bikes working themselves. Again though, disclaimer, truing stand, bike mechanic, nice clean bike, do it properly. But if you just want to head out for 10 minutes to get fit, you now can without a rubbing wheel. Thanks very much, take it easy, and I'll see you next time.